What's up? I'm back again. Sorry, but not sorry. I'm here for your pleasure once again. S90V Native Chief with smooth carbon fiber scales. Oh, these scales are too good. They need to do this on other stuff too. Got a little bit of marker on the edge, but this is something we sharpened last night as an experiment. It's not a very complex experiment, but we only sharpened it with 150 grit stone. So only my most coarse stone, one stone. And the edge looks like a factory Spyderco edge. And it cuts better than one. Clean this up a little bit. So how's it going, everyone? How's your New Year's? You guys doing anything fun? Or are you guys just watching losers like me sharpen on the internet today? What up, sir? Thanks for joining me again. So this is only sharpened at 150 grit. We reprofiled it, sharpened it, and reduced the burr by flipping it back and forth a few times. Then we stropped it quickly, and the result is a very, very, very sharp, very aggressive edge that grabs paper and just cuts. So that's why people say sharp at any grit, is you should be able to make a knife very sharp at a low grit or at a high grit. It's actually easier at low grit. You don't get sharper the higher the grit you go, really. Like, I don't know. Depends on what your definition is, but like if you use functionally, like cutting paper, something you actually do, and this is as sharp as a mirror is going to be. Mirror's not going to be better. Anyway, how's it going? We got Facebook user. What's up, dude? Got the mailman himself, Mr. Brian Roden. He has a day off. It's a Sunday and it's New Year's Eve. No mail today. What else do we have around here? I think today we're going to sharpen this knife. I'm running out of knives to sharpen. Hey, Tommy. How long does it take to get the CBN? Like 2 or 3 weeks to get it shipped from Hapstone in Ukraine. It's not bad. This is a Aramis Raptor scaled 10V DLC Scorpion BM2. So one that I had some worry about sharpening because DLC you have to be a little careful so you don't scratch it. But I've done so many now, I'm not as worried, and it's just a knife, so it'll be okay. But this is one of my favorite builds. I just don't carry it. Pretty cool. This is Alutex. I don't think you can get this material from him anymore, but it's like carbon fiber, but not. Yeah, they're all right. I have about a lot. I have a lot of them. I have about 15 sets of them. Now I kind of want to get them all out. Yeah, I like Aramis scales. They're They're very good. I can never decide which one I want to carry. More than that. There's one. Yeah, it's hard to keep track of this when you set the scales. Makes good stuff. Very good stuff. Now let's clean up my workbench and let's do some sharpening. Carrying that guy. Keep this guy out for fun. I'm going to sharpen this one. There we go. There's paper shreds everywhere in my house, just like they stick to my feet and get tracked into other rooms. And I cut stuff on the coffee table and they spread all over the living room. It kind of happens. Hazard of the job. Okay, so we're going to actually use Cadet for this one. Halfstone's been fun to use for the last few, but I miss my Cadet. We're going to use the Cadet. What else we got going on? Rex 45 is fine to sharpen. It's nothing hard. It's like sharpening, I don't know. If you have good stones, like the difference between steels, unless it's like Maxima is noticeably harder than other steels. Most steels are not drastically too much harder. The Rex 45 is fine. It mirrors really well. It stays sharp. It's a good steel to sharpen. So since I've been watching your sharpening sessions, has lit a fire in me to dust off my KME and sharpen some knives. Love to hear that, Brian. It's fun. It's good for you. It's healthy. It's like I don't do actual exercise enough, so this is like good mental exercise. At least I get that in. So I think I agree. You should definitely get your KME out. It's a killer system. It's all you need. Okay. First thing, electrical tape, good quality, $3 a roll, not 10 cents a roll. Electrical tape, use good electrical tape. It's important because it's going to protect your knife. So it's worth the fraction of a cent worth of tape it costs to get good tape to do this and not fuck up your knife. So trust me. Go on Amazon and just order good tape. It sticks way better and it's going to protect way better. And if you sharpen with water, it'll stay on not great, but it'll stay on better than cheap stuff. So I'm taping off the flat grind line, the vertical face of it. I'm pushing my fingernail. I'm pushing the tape into that little groove where the flat grind starts. And the reason is this is going to protect our DLC at the heel. And we're going to be able to get the heel nice and tight up against the flat without destroying the DLC. Now we're lining it up so that the flat grind is parallel to the stone. Now we're really crank it down tight. Marker on the edge. This is a nice fresh Sharpie. Ooh, it's red too. Oh, this is like luxurious. Like I wear Sharpies down to, because when you draw on the edge like this, if you just literally push the Sharpie into the edge is kind of how I do it. It makes it stay on the bevel, but your Sharpies become blunt very quickly. So this is like luxurious having a fresh Sharpie to draw. Instead of trying to use the scraps what I have in other ones. Okay, we're going to adjust the sharpener 17 degrees because this is a Spyderco, and that's what I sharpen them to. And that's what they're supposed to be sharpened at. And if you go too low, they look stupid. Okay. I'll see how it looks. Using 150 grit stone. We're just passing over the edge lightly, and we see where it's landing. And so what it does is usually hitting the front of the bevel. Other side is a lot closer at the top of the bevel. So since we're kind of splitting the difference here, we're going to leave it at 17 degrees. Yeah, dude, big Sharpies also work. You're right. I need to start using dry erase marker. Someone suggested that, and I'm sure it'll come off hella better than Sharpie does, because Sharpie is a pain in the ass. Even with the magic eraser, it can be a pain in the ass to come off. Okay, now we're just going to profile this edge. Check our stop collar. Make sure it's going to clear and we're not going to hit anything. Okay. Now it's going to profile this edge. It's got a lot of work to do. 10V, and it's not super close to where I want to be. We're going to tip, put the finger underneath it trick. The tip's going to have some serious profiling work done to it. Yeah, we're going to be doing some serious work on this tip. I hate that. That sucks. That's what's interesting about professionally sharpening is figuring out how much to charge is hard. Because sometimes stuff's super easy. I feel guilty. But other times, stuff is so fucking hard and I don't charge nearly enough, so it kind of balances out. But some of you guys get lucky and some of you guys might get screwed over, but you get a lot more for your money than some other people do. Yeah, this was one of those cases where if this knife came in, I would be like, fuck, I'm only getting $25 to sharpen this. And this thing's got a ton of profiling to do. It's getting there. Tip sucks, but it'll be okay. We're not going to mirror this. There we go. We're just going to satin it. It doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, doing our heel. I had a few strokes before, but we're basically done. Now we're doing a little valley in front of the heel that always happens by twisting our stone lightly like this to hit the little spot in front of the heel. It's kind of hard to hit it otherwise if you just use the stone flat. Yeah, we're coming together pretty well, actually. We've got just a little bit left at the valley in front of the heel. I don't know the physics of why this spot always ends up there. There we go. Flip. We got a burr. Throw out the whole edge. That side's actually profiled. That actually wasn't very bad. It just looked bad. These stones eat steel. Cut the crap out of finger on the McNeese taunt. Sorry. That I'm really happy you let me sharpen that. That was fun. I like doing that Tonto tip. It was cool. Okay, do the heel real quick. Okay, that's all good. Now just a little spot in front of it. The side is not nearly as off from 17. It's pretty close. So we're not going to spend a ton of time on this side. We're basically already there. So again, if you're just joining me, we're sharpening a 10B DLC Aramis PM2. And we just profiled it. We just did each side. So now I'm going to do like my check pass where I pick up any problems and finalize any like the heel and look for any little dead spots on the second pass. You feel the burr. You hear the burr. When you take the stone slowly over it, then you know you're sharpening. You know you're apexing both sides. So now we're just reducing the burr size and lining up our strokes and looking for anything that doesn't look cool. So our tip, we have a little more work on our tip. This is a satin edge, so it's not as vital to be 100%. There we go. Okay. Heel looks good. 400 grit time. And that's where we're going to end this. Maybe we mirror this for fun because DLC. Nah. Satin looks nice. And it's sharp. So really all we're doing is we're just lightly polishing the bevel from the last stone, since now we're not profiling. I'm doing reverse scratch marks so it's easier for me to find anything hidden just for aesthetic purposes. And then forward scratches, line everything up. Do one last pass. Reduce the burr size, lightly touching. This is when I put very light pressure on everything. And we're good. We'll call that a day. Actually, you know what? We're not. We're not going to call that a day. We're going to do something I'm going to make myself do. We're going to strop on the machine. I forgot I didn't readjust my stop collar position. Last time I used these, so we're not going to use the stop collar. Not the stop collar. This is called the stone thickness compensator. So what you do is I'd have my big stone. I would have pressed this in here, and it would have been up at that height. But I forgot to readjust it last time I did it. So now it's at the lower height for these. So instead of using that, we're going to have to adjust it like normal. So we're going to do 3 micron Gunny Juice Kangaroo leather strop on a 400 grit edge. We're going to adjust this to 17 degrees. Okay, so when you switch stones, and this is, I just talked to someone who had like 3 different stones in their cart, and that's not good. But when you switch different brands of stones, or even some stones in the same brand, like Spyderco brand, are there different thicknesses, even by a millimeter? It makes a big difference. So if you switch different, like you see me, I'm just going through my stones, no big deal. That's because they're all the same. But if you switch to just a little bit different, or you have one that's worn out, you need to adjust this angle to make sure you're still on. Because like right now, we just switched stones, and the angle is 17.5 because the stones are different thicknesses. So we have to bring this up a little bit to 17 where we were sharpening. And now we can use this. Just doing pulling strokes. This is so hard for me to do and not want to just like go fast and put pressure on it, but just light pressure. We're trying to just pull any burr that's remaining off the edge and lightly polish the bevel. Don't really care about polishing. I'm using 3 micron because I don't know. If we stopped at 400 grit, it made sense to me. We're not trying to hide little tiny scratches or anything. And bigger microns cut better. Ooh, feels good. Let's do one more pass just for fun. See how sharp we can get this thing. Kind of enjoying this. I'm gonna keep on doing this. My strops, my paddle strops that I use are so torn up from using bad stropping technique that this just makes more sense. These are still fairly pristine condition. My problem is I always like get aggressive and like I want to do the tip. I don't need to do the tip. Tip's fine. I don't need I can skip 1 millimeter of the tip. Okay, we're all good. Now we're going to do what I do with my DLC knives to make them look extra cool. This one's still really clean. Didn't get a lot of sharpening dust and gunk all over the blade. But if it did, I would grab a little tiny bit of this, but this is just honing oil. I put a dot of oil on here. I'd spread it around the whole face of the blade. Put more than a dot. Really just coat the blade. Be careful with rubbing your finger on it. This thing's gonna be damn sharp. Take a magic eraser and then remove the oil with the magic eraser. It will leave a nice dark matte finish. The DLC will absorb some of the oil. If it'll like make it like wet. It'll like it's good stuff. Makes it look new again. So we did that, and then we use I need a shitty one to do this with. Where's the shitty one? I don't want to use that one. I have a bunch of shitty ones. Oh, I guess it's fine. Using a chamois cloth, we're going to wipe off the oil. This will leave us a nice, dry, but dark, non-smudged, non-oily finish. This chamois cloth is very absorbent and it really sucks oil off stuff very well. Come on. There we go. A little bit more oil over here, but you get the idea. Look how dark that DLC is now. Nice edge. Let's see how she cuts. Ooh, like a dream. Okay, I'm liking stropping on the machine. It works very well. This is like next level sharp for me. This is a good edge. The good edge. So again, what we did was we sharpened this with 150 grit to profile it, 400 grit to finish it, and then we used a 3 micron gunny juice strop to finish the edge, and it results our incredibly sharp knife. It's a nice looking satin edge. Just 2 stones again. That's all you need. 2 stones. And you can be doing this awesomeness stuff. Thank you, sir. I'm glad someone enjoys them. If no one enjoyed it, I wouldn't do it. So that's good to hear that. Happy New Year, Greg Wadsworth. Yeah, dude, looks really good. Looks pretty good. It's very shiny, actually. even though we only use 3 micron, it's shined it up a lot. There's a lot of gunny juice on those strops, so it probably did some pretty serious work. Ooh. Yeah, I'll just start stropping on the machine. Maybe feel cool being able to drop by hand because it's a skill not a lot of people have. I'm not even good at it. I just am good enough at it. But I don't do what I should do. So we're going to strop the machine from now on. Maybe my ASMR cutting noises. Soothing sounds of Tommaso Moore. Filling a Bob Ross sized hole in the knife world. Good stuff. That's a very specific size hole, Bob Ross hole. I love Bob Ross. It's so hard to tell sometimes. This is another extremely sharp knife. This is an S90V mirrored shaman. It just feels different. Yeah, this one feels amazing. What else do we want to see? I don't really have anything else to sharpen, so I probably can't do another knife at the moment. If I can talk about any of my knives I have, let me show off some cool stuff. Here's my favorite non-Spyderco. It's Koenig Arius, but it's a Style 57 Arius, which is like his special limited run numbered version of the PJ. It's got really cool milling on it. It's very small and precise. It's got a hand satin blade. It's got polished chamfers. And it's got amazing action. I put skiff bearings in this. People like, if you go on the forum or the group and talk about that, people will like freak out. But this thing's got incredible action with the skiffs in it. And I'm not taking it apart to take them out now. So it is what it is. Yeah, this thing is a fun little fidget toy. I got it at Blade Show in Atlanta. And this is one of the only Blade Show knives I've actually kept and will keep for long term. I've flipped a lot of Koenigs from Blade Show. Like, you get them and they're cool, and I don't know. This one's stuck around though, and it will stick around. I'm not gonna sell this one. What good stones did I use on the Para 3? What Para 3? The Maximate Para 3? If you mean the Maximate one, the same grit stones. I ended up using 80 grit at one point when I couldn't get it to be sharp. But yeah, I use the same grit stones on every steel, basically. I start with 150. Or if I have a chip, I'll start with 80, and I'll raise the angle up and do chips with 80. Well, all right, that was fun. And I'll do this again. I'll do another one of these pretty soon, here this afternoon. But we're out of knives to sharpen, so yeah, we'll have to do another one. So thank you guys. I'll come back and do another one in a little bit. Bye.